Hey guys, this is Robin with Weight Loss Apocalypse. You'll have to, never mind my old grungy look at all that sweat. I'm about to go do some landscaping, so forgive my awesome cap. I've had this for, gosh, over 10 years. It's one of my favorites, so you'll have to deal with that. Okay, so this is a 15-minute clip of a session that I recorded October 2014. There's so many good points. The two main things that are in this 15-minute segment are, first, we're talking about what you're consuming when you are looking to be thinner, and the weird ideology of the diet industry, which is, one, if you can control your food, you can get the image of the body they're selling. If you exercise the way they tell you to, you can also achieve that image. When you get that image, we'll all love you better. You're going to have more respect. You can say what's on your mind. So there's that part of this conversation that I think is really relevant. The other part is the consequences of dieting, which a lot of people blame themselves for, which is how weak and incapable you feel eating food if you don't have the controls of a diet, which is the consequence. It's of how the diet has enabled people who chronically dieted over years. The more you use a controlled restriction in dieting, the less you are using your body to regulate your food consumption. So a natural problem is that you truly become weaker at listening to your body, and you become stronger at memorizing a diet. So you end up with this codependent relationship where the diet is enabling you weak, and you are using it because you feel out of control without it. So the more control you feel with a diet, the less control you feel on your own. So such an awesome, relevant conversation. The entire session is below. It's about an hour and 10 minutes if you want to watch the whole session. If you want to work with me, I work with YouTube followers. The link to my website is also below. And if you would like to have access to my most recent and current YouTube videos, they are in a private Patreon account. You will need to become a member, and the link to that is below as well. So enjoy. Beliefs were before.
My beliefs were is if you were mentally strong enough, you can achieve the body that you want. Okay. And so it's a mental deal. That if you just eat the right foods, 80% of it is all the food. So you just need to watch what you eat, and you will have, the body that you desire. If you don't work out, then your body is not going to be able to be mentally focused to be able to accomplish this. And my husband will love me if I look a certain way. And
hold on a second. So I want to just make sure everything is pointing to the body image.
Absolutely.
Okay, so far you said, number one, if you want that body image, you'll get it. Create it in your head, and your body's going to transform to that. The other thing is the food you eat will create that body.
Yes.
The exercise you do will create that body.
Yes.
Okay.
And when you have that body, then you will be privileged enough to have love and affection
from your husband,
from anyone whether it be people you know or people you don't know.
Okay. And
suddenly things that you say in your life have credibility. Whereas before, when you were fat, there was no credibility in anything you said.
No, because being fat means that you are a sloth, you're a loser, you are stupid, you're lazy, you have no drive, you have no intelligence, you really don't know what you're talking about, you really have no value in the community, you're not worthy of sex, you're not worthy of being sexually attracted to, you're not worthy of attention, you're not worthy of accolades, you're not worthy of anything, actually.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and your husband's going to leave you.
Oh, God, yes.
Okay.
My husband is going to leave believe me unless I lose the weight and I look how he thinks I should look, or what the image is of, whatever that is. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's not his image, maybe it's my image. Maybe
I think we're coming to that. I mean, because you have the image in your mind of what you need to look like. It's a visual.
Yeah.
Right? And then that visual creates these feelings. Like, oh, if I look in the mirror and I have this look, then I will feel like I've accomplished something. And that accomplishment is security and safety with my family, my husband, and my clan. Yeah. That to me tells me, right, that's your only asset.
Yeah.
I mean, or lack thereof.
Yeah.
But it's like you've attached to that as the asset you provide to that clan. Like, that's the only thing you could provide. There's nothing else you can give.
Right.
So if
I only had, everything would be perfect in my life.
Everything. Just like the commercials show you.
Yeah.
I'm so much happier. Look at me. I just don't feel bad about myself anymore now that I have this thinner waist and this dress size. I can be myself.
Yeah.
You've been brainwashed. That's what that is. And and you've attached to it. What they talk about in the behavioral sciences, when a human being internalizes that picture, you internalized it, meaning it became you. It became the object of desire that was it. It became your identity. Like, that's how you identify yourself.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing is we're saying, what's your real identity? Like, if that isn't the option, I know I repeat this, right? If being thin and having that body is impossible. It's impossible. How many times have you tried?
My whole life.
Okay, let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that. Your true integrity, everything that the 4 things you listed, which is, if I want it, I can achieve it. If I eat properly, I can achieve it. If I exercise properly, I can achieve that body. All of the things that the diet culture sells you, you've done it. And you've done it with your heart and soul.
Yeah.
Has there been a lack of commitment on your part?
No. No.
So you've actually had this pureness to your effort, right?
Yeah.
So would you say that if you pull yourself out of it and actually give yourself a grade in terms of effort, what do you get?
Well, I get an A for effort.
Of course you do.
But I get an F for results. Well, I get an F for result.
An F for a result, but doesn't the diet culture tell you that if you do all of this, that you'll get the A?
Well, I had to have done something wrong because I didn't get it.
Well, I guess that's what I'm trying to get you to see. Like, have you done anything wrong? I mean, you've surrounded yourself with people who have the same beliefs, so it's not even a lack of, like, support.
Yeah, no, they always say surround yourself around people that are up to the same thing. I've even done that. What the hell's wrong with me?
You've never questioned the goal.
Yeah.
You never questioned, like, the belief or the image. You never questioned the imagery.
No.
And the realism of it. Like, you just assumed that it was attainable.
Yeah.
And that you also assumed
around me. And so does everybody around me, so they all support that exact thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So they're all like, you can do it. Work harder, even though it's causing psychological harm.
Yeah.
Right? You're removing food to the point where it's anorexic in nature. And there's so much fear around it. And it's like, and then you wonder why you have these consequences that everybody who's in the culture has. Like binging, kind of like your sister said last time. Everybody does it. Well, yeah, of course everybody does that in that industry, in that culture. People who are into body image binge. Yeah, for sure. They binge exercise, they binge eat, they binge on purges. They do all sorts of binging in multiple ways. So the discontent here is that you're tired. You're tired. It's almost like, you know how I've said multiple times, you should go back into it. How does that feel to say, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a challenge, a 30-day challenge for you where you remove sugar and grains. Let's do it. And let's add an hour of exercise at least 5 days a week. Because you know what? You can get that body. And that body is going to make your husband like you. And your family is going to all of a sudden be proud of who you are. And they're going to put you on a pedestal and your sister's going to be jealous.
Well, you know, it's funny when you say that now, probably because we've been talking off and on. And I really see the error of that paradigm. To think about going back into it, I can't.
I know, that's why I asked. I'm like, that's the conflict.
Yeah, and that's the conflict. It's that I know what they expect of me, but I mentally can't do it. I just can't. It's unobtainable for me to do what they want.
Do you want to do what they want?
If I could wiggle my nose, yeah, because I no longer have faith that, and I believe exactly what you said. I no longer have faith that the diet industry works. Thank God.
Well, so now, you know, there are success rates, right? You know those pictures of inspiration they put in the media, and the cult exercise groups and the cult food mongering and all of what they're putting out there. You've done it. You did it. You did the extreme, and you've also done mediocre, right? Haven't you done Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem, and haven't you done any of those in the middle? Because those and
no, you know, it's. Well, and I did HCG. I've done HCG numerous times. And the funny thing is, even when you do obtain the results and you think your life's going to be perfect, this is the one thing that scares me. And this is why I've come to see you. Because even when you have the perfect image, to maintain that, given, like, that you can't. Given the environment, it's unhealthy. You can't maintain it. And you're miserable, even when you do have it all, supposedly.
Well, you're right. Well, you could attain it, you could maintain it, but you have to stay anorexic in the way you eat, and the way and anorexic in the way you treat your body. So you have to, in fear, right? Because you don't trust that the body can do it on its own. That's the biggest flaw, I think, in the diet industry, is that when you achieve the results through an external measure, you have to have that measure just to maintain it. You didn't do it on your own. It's not yours. Right. And that's where that vulnerability comes from, because once you release yourself from the means that you use to the end, it's not yours anymore. So you're vulnerable to where your ability is at, right? And so the ability and the competence that you have with your body then takes over. And when you've been dieting and using anorexic measures for decades, how do you think your ability to listen to your body and to understand food, variety of food, relative to your own biological physiology, right, with hunger and appetite and all that, how developed is it going to be if you've been dieting for decades?
It's not. It's like you can't even hear your body. You can't even hear what it needs anymore.
Yeah, so you're left to be very weak and feel inadequate with regular food, and don't forget too the consequence of all the judgment and the shame of all these bad foods.
Yeah. And
if you go into those foods and you don't know how to use them and you have all the shame and the guilt, what happens as a consequence? You feel out of control.
You do, and that's the last thing you want to feel is out of control.
Well, and that out of control feeling makes you even attach further to diet religious systems. Like, I can't handle reality. I need the diet. Remember when you would listen to me and be like, she's dangerous. Her information's bad. This is not good for people. It was because you believed we need a religion with food to control ourselves, right? From all of that food that makes us eat it because it's got all the chemicals that makes us want more. Right? Like, that's what makes you want more.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm here to say that's the truth. That's the outcome of the diet industry, and how many people actually maintain that body.
Oh, God. Well, you and I talked about this. Nobody does.
Well, the people who are anorexic and they maintain their anorexia.
Well, that's true.
So,
that's true. But the diet industry does not want to be successful, because if they're successful, you wouldn't need them.
Well, their measure of success is making money. So they actually want to be successful, and they've been very successful. They make hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's their measure of success. They're not using your ability to eat in reality as a measure of success. That's the furthest thing from the conversation, right? I mean, everything they talk about is how to lose weight, how to feel better about yourself by measuring your waist every day.
Yeah. How
to feel good about yourself because you're back on the train of eating controlled and anorexic, right? Back on the train of minimizing your food into very small varieties. Like, that's healthy. So they're very successful in terms of how they measure success. But, you know, your measure of success, if we really look at yours, it was feeling adequate in your family and secure with your husband.
Yeah.
That was your measure of success, but you used it through an image. If I get that body image, if I'm thin, I will feel good about who I am. I will feel safe. I will feel accomplished. Those feelings are really what that image represents.
Right.
So you need to see that. That's why your integrity and your work ethic in it was so A+. Because those emotions were riding on the diet. I mean, on the body image.
Yeah.
And it sucks that you didn't have success. Or that you didn't get those emotions when you did attain the image.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Which then makes me also, and it's funny, this is one that I kind of realized, if people treated me like garbage or didn't acknowledge the value that I bring to the table, it was okay, because I didn't deserve that anyway. Now, when I get thin, then they'll have to listen to me and treat me right, because then I will be worthy of that, and I won't have to put up with that shit anymore. So whether it be family members or, you know, coworkers or whatever that is, you suddenly have a right to stand up for yourself, versus, you know, when you're fat, you don't have that right, because, you know, really, you don't have your... Is that sick or what?
Well, that's what the culture has taught you.